What's up, It Girls? It's your girl, Britney Shields, and welcome to the It Girl podcast. My It Girl co-host of the week is 3-time Emmy Award-winning Glen Alen! Hello. Yes.
Hello, Britney Shields.
There she is. A true look queen. You're like, let's make sure we focus.
You got to get face first.
Yes, absolutely. You got to get face. Okay, so for the people who are listening on Spotify, everything, how would we describe your look other than a total acid trip?
It's a neon acid trip mixed with classic Barbarella silhouette.
Okay, yeah.
And an extraterrestrial punk rock girl.
Absolutely. We were talking a little bit. You describe yourself as a club kid, a look queen. Can you sort of define what makes somebody a club kid?
I am a mixture. I am just Glen Alen. I don't own a label or a category. I don't fit in a box.
Yes, come on.
And so I adopt all of the labels, all of the flavors of in the drag world, the club kid world. And so I can do pageant queen, I can do celebrity impersonation, I could do club kid, I could do club creature. There's so many genres that are fun to play with.
Absolutely.
And sometimes here's the thing. People have an identity. They feel comfortable with the one certain look. And that's beautiful. That's great. I don't feel comfortable with one look. I get the fucking bored. So because I'm just an artistic gay kid who wants to play with all of the toys.
Absolutely. And you started out by doing the makeup of the kids in your neighborhood, right? For Halloween.
Well, Halloween. I think we all started with Halloween, and
not all of us, but
some of us.
Yeah.
And putting makeup on ourselves. And I remember when I was 10 years old, I told my dad, I said, "Dad, I want to be a witch for Halloween." And he paused, and he said, "You know that's a girl costume."
Oh wow.
And I was 10 years old, and I didn't know what the pause was about. And so all I could say was, So he let me be a witch.
And so he let you be a witch.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay, how do I escape this awkward conversation? I'm just going to let my son be a witch.
Yeah.
Wow. So did he struggle with it? He struggled with...
No.
He didn't.
It
was just that
super
pause.
Lucky.
It was that pause, and then we moved on.
You never know what you're going to be dealt with, what cards you're going to be dealt with.
Yeah.
And I've been dealt some very difficult, challenging cards in my life. My dad wasn't one of them.
That's amazing.
Other people have gotten some blessings in other areas, but maybe their dad was a shithead. You know what I'm saying? So it all kind of balances out. And we all have to work on whatever issue, whatever cards that we struggle with that are hard.
Yeah.
That my dad was not one of them. So although he could have been, because he was in the military for 22 years.
Wow.
Yes.
Really?
And he sent me to military school.
No!
He did.
No, he did
when
not.
I was a kid.
You're kidding.
Because he thought that would
shape
me up into a good young man.
Wow.
And it did.
Okay.
I'm a good young man. I am a daddy when I'm not in neon.
Yes, you are.
I'm a dude. But that was so lucky when I wanted to quit high school and become a fashion designer. I mean, what, 17, 16-year-old doesn't. But my dad was a tailor. So he kind of understood the desire. So, yeah, he's like, okay. But what I needed to do was I needed him to take pictures of the dresses that I created for my drag shows. I was performing in high school at the time in West Hollywood at Peanuts and various clubs throughout the Peanuts.
What is Peanuts now?
West.
What location is
7969.
Okay. On the strip?
On the
strip?
On the strip.
Okay.
And
anyway,
so he needed to take pictures of me in my dresses, and he'd never really saw me face to face in a dress. I'd always kind of sneak out with my friends and go to the club and dress up. And he said, okay. And he took pictures of me in my dresses, and he took me to Brooks Fashion Institute, and I got accepted into Brooks Fashion Institute.
Wow. This is,
Yeah, I know. It's a
there's
lot.
so much to unpack. Well, I mean, so what was that moment like? Him seeing you in the dress for the first time? It was there no pause.
Nothing. There was nothing. There
He'd
was
already
no
he'd already seen you as
there
a
was
witch.
no
He'd already
energy.
seen.
There was no negative energy. There
Wow.
was no awkward energy. It was just, am I finding my light?
Mm-hmm.
Am I giving the right pose? You know, that's what all I was thinking
And would
of.
he give
and
notes?
he was taking
Would
the
he give
picture.
notes?
No,
No.
I said, I'm ready. I knew what I was doing at 16.
And he was a tailor. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So
Sounds like
he was an artist, and I
okay.
feel like that's why I have thrived in being an artist and doing art for a living, so to speak. Finding a way to earn money being an artist, because that's what he did. You know, tailoring is an art.
Yeah.
And he loved his jobs. He never had a job that he didn't like. You know, he never went to work angry or resentful.
Wow. Okay.
He loved all of his jobs. And he was also a judo instructor and had a judo team that I took judo because I had to. He was the coach. And then later in life, after I ran away a couple times, I only ran away around the block, but still.
Right.
It can be startling to a parent. He became a runaway counselor at a runaway shelter.
Okay. Wow.
And he did all those jobs.
So he was like, well, I mean, it's so funny because you're a jack of all trades too. And so it's so interesting to hear that is maybe something that you inherited from him as well.
He showed me I don't need to limit myself.
And the discipline too. Yeah. I mean, that to be in the military school and all of that, would you credit him with your work ethic?
I feel like military school gave me great discipline. I think he was disciplined as a person, and he handled money well. And I think the other secret to success as an artist is live within your means. I think that's a secret to success as being a human. You know, and living with a sense of peace and not frustration and anger and frustration over money. A lot of, you know, negative kind of energy and life experiences around money. Yeah. So living within your means, living within my means is my goal. Thanks, Susie Orman.
Amazing. Yeah. How do you do all this while living in your means? I mean, that's like, that's incredible, because this is, tell me about the creation of
the
this.
99-cent store and get a bunch of shit and glue it together. Honestly, I think that's what kind of, again, the club kid culture was so great for, is we had no money. We took stuff off of the street, or, you know, out of necessity, other people's trash was our treasures, and we glued it together and went clubbing.
I love that. So in terms of like club kid culture, I think just for people who are like not in this world at all, like, would you define it as like just somebody who goes out all the time, is sort of like sleeping all day during the day and then going out all night? Or like, how would, like, what is your kind of definition of that?
I think that's part of it.
That's part as a younger,
but that's also, that's just part of being a teenager or a person in their young, you know, early 20s. Yeah. But that started in the, you know, around the 80s. With Lee Bowery and Boy George and the Blitz Club in London. And it was artists that, to me, like from my perspective, I'm an artist, and when I was a kid, I was an oil painter, but my mom would only hang them up in the home. And so only the family would see them. And I wanted other people to see my art. So when I learned that I could put makeup on myself and clothes on myself and hair dye on myself and create a walking piece of art and take it out to the world so people could see it in public, I think that was like my mentality of what a joy it is to be a club kid and share art and creativity and with the public. Right. Take art into the world. You don't have to go into a gallery. Right. So we were kind of walking pieces of art.
Well, and that's something you talk about too, is that you miss about the 80s, is that there was such individuality, and you saw people going out and creating like a true aesthetic that was unique to them. Yeah. You know, obviously everybody was influenced by MTV during those days, but are you not seeing that sort of same level of just like loudness, or like what would you say is like the signature look of that time that you wish would come back?
I would say I think there are so many avenues of expression as far as TV, internet, YouTube, the phones, Instagram, TikTok, and there's so much of it and so many people. I think a lot of things get kind of missed or washed away.
Or diluted.
MTV,
almost kind of like diluted, maybe?
Everybody had MTV.
You
did not have MTV. Everybody had MTV. Now you have HBO Max and somebody else has Hulu. Like, you're not going to see the same thing.
It's harder to connect.
Therefore, you cannot really have as many similar conversations. Like, we had a lot in common back then. Now there's a lot of differences.
Right.
Which is not a bad thing, but humans like commonality. So I think...
in terms of being able to connect and everything.
Yeah.
Well, and we've talked...
and that plays for us and against us, because humans like commonality. They like to know what's going to happen. They like to be comfortable. So that's what creates the cookie cutter kind of style of artists, and wearing a certain kind of style, a certain kind of hair, sounding a certain way. It's because humans are more comfortable with that. They're comfortable with McDonald's. There's nothing wrong with that, but I don't want to be McDonald's.
Yeah. And how do you think that West Hollywood has changed over the years? You just recently were part of an exhibit honoring like the 40 years of drag, of how it's kind of changed over the years. Like,
bitch, calling my age out.
No, but I mean, it's got to be, because now I've been in the city now for 20 years. So like it's really crazy to me to have like a point of reference of being like, oh no, I can see how today is different than it was 10 years ago and how it was 20 years ago. And so I would have to imagine like you've seen a real sort of crust and fall.
Positive progress. Absolute 1,000% positive progress from 40 years ago.
Okay.
On so many different levels, not just about being LGBTQ community and being allowed to be ourselves and being allowed to be ourselves in public and on TV and in film and television. We have so many examples of that freedom, the enormous freedom now that we have and the acceptance that we have. I'm not saying there's not the other side of it, which we're experiencing.
Yeah.
But you can't stop us. Like, there's no stopping us. You can put up a fight. You can put up rules.
The cat's already out the bag.
Laws, and you can try to silence us, but you won't.
Right.
Like,
well,
I mean, haven't been able to in the past, and you never will. So, especially Queens, for the LGBTQ community, we are the loudest.
Absolutely.
And the most feistiest, and we are going to show up and defend our community.
And I also just think of like today, it's like 40 years ago, we couldn't like dress up like this and then broadcast our images to, Oklahoma or to anywhere else. And so like, I feel like we're getting this, it's like a back and forth, right? There's the dilution that you were mentioning earlier of how culture sort of gets like watered down because it's kind of just, everywhere. But then at the same time, we're also being influenced by each other. And it's like kind of, maybe this is what you're saying, but like, it's already out there. Like, it can't be stopped. Like, the creativity is already, you can't shut that down. We know what's out there, like Pandora's box almost.
Yeah. And now LGBTQ people, do have positions of power in political offices. And I think we're only going to grow and be stronger no matter what kind of circus is going on right now that is distracting. We will grow.
So you're hopeful in spite of everything.
I know, isn't that weird?
I know. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hot take. But I love that. We need that. We need that.
We need hope.
We need
hope. And I think, that's kind of my message, is this too shall pass.
Yeah.
These too shall pass.
Well, and you're a big believer in like God, and like we've talked before higher power, I should say. Higher power of just like, it's all going to work out, and maybe not in the way that you think it's going to work out.
I'll explain, like, the word God is a simple one-syllable word. No religion, no spiritual group owns that word. It's actually just a word that we converse with. Yeah. That's short and easy.
Right.
So to me, that is just higher power. It is power of the universe. Love, the essence of love is my higher power. And I think it's all around us at all times. So we can always tap into it.
Yeah. Yeah. And that must help you in terms of having an entertainment career where we have to like hold on for dear life to like make sure that we stay employed, that we can stay in the city, and just believing it's going to work out. Like somehow it's going to work out. Can you talk to me a little bit about having a career outside of the RuPaul's Drag Race of it all? Because I think that, you know, for a lot of younger queens, like who are planning their trajectory, seeing Drag Race, which it's a blessing and a curse, right? Where it's like, how amazing that it's out there and that it's so mainstream and such a platform. But now it's kind of like that feels like it's the only route to be successful as a drag queen. And if you don't get it, you're not going to be successful. But you have won 3 Emmys. I mean, you are in shows every weekend. Like, can you talk a little bit about like finding that success?
I think too, I want to touch on, because I may touch on elements of it, that I have been in recovery from drugs and alcohol for 33 years.
Wow. Congratulations.
And so when I say higher power, when the lessons I've learned from overcoming the fears and insecurities of just being a human on the planet, we all are human. So we're all going to have the 7 deadly sins that plague us, the envy, the wrath, the gluttony, the greed. We're all going to be challenged with that. It's normal. So let's not feel bad about it, but let's admit it. Let's not pretend. And so what happens is people get afraid that they're going to lose. It's a sense of lack, right? And so they're afraid they're not going to get what they want. And what happens is they become angry. So that's what people end up showing the world, is they're angry. But actually they're scared. So when you run into a person who's angry and mad, have sympathy for them. Yeah. Because they're actually scared. Yeah. So overcoming my fear is kind of ultimately one of the ultimate challenges and gifts of a recovery program, is addressing that. So being in, as far as RuPaul goes, I auditioned 7 times. So my challenge was to get rejected and not quit. Yeah. Yeah. And not take it as a message as, oh, you're not good enough. So you might as well not continue. I got rejected 7 times. Yeah. So each time hurt on a different level. Absolutely. But each time I asked myself, that's fine. Like,
this is still what I want to do.
I'm going to be okay because I insist on being okay, period, end of story. Nobody's going to dull my shine. Yes. Nobody's going to take that away. Not any TV show is going to be able to take my glory away of being who I am. Yes. And so what I did was I just said, okay, what's the lesson? What can I learn? How can I be stronger? How can I grow? Yeah. And so I grew and grew and grew. And one thing that I grew from was skill and talent and
discipline,
options, giving myself options and variety of styles and performances and characters. I just grew like that. But also then I was driven to be like, okay, how am I going to make my name after getting rejected, rejected? And everybody gets a name from RuPaul. When you get on RuPaul, you get a name, you get famous, opportunities come to you. And I'm like, okay, if I'm not going to be on that, how I'm going to create my own opportunity? How am I going to share my own strength with the world and give back to the world? And so I created Drag Makeup Academy, where I teach drag makeup to new drag queens. And that fulfills my soul and it helps people. So absolutely, I was inspired, I guess, to do many things like that from the rejection I got from RuPaul Drag Race. Yeah. So thank you.
Yes. And
for not having me on.
Yeah. Well, and you, I mean, how I learned how to do makeup was through you. And I know many queens do it through you as well. I just had a show with Joan Quivers last night and I was like, I know that nose. Yep. I said, I know that nose. And I think it's so important. I think one of the things that with the internet, it has sort of taken away the tangible relationships of having like somebody to talk to and go to and be like, hey, like I tried this lip liner and it wasn't working. It gave me this, or it worked on my stubble. It like was doing all of this, and to have like a real person to like, hey, how do I fix this?
It does take that away. It takes it away from a lot of opportunity to grow and learn from each other.
Yeah.
When there's an internet saying that it's teaching, when YouTube videos about makeup and tutorials are not necessarily teaching, they're demonstrating.
Yeah.
To me, teaching is giving a student opportunity to make mistakes. And really, the best way to do that is one-on-one, not on a video. Because on a video, when you're watching, they don't make mistakes. And even if they do, they cut that part out. Right. So you just see them demonstrate their makeup, not really teach. Yes. So my students with me get to make a mistake, and then they get to learn how to correct the mistake.
Right.
And once you correct mistakes, you become less afraid of making them.
Absolutely.
Because you know how to correct them.
Absolutely.
That's the gift of growing and learning one-on-one. And I think on a side note, part of that growing and not being on RuPaul Drag Race, you know, that skill level then let me continue performing. And I would perform as a guest artist with the elite troupe, the Dreamgirls Review, until one day I showed enough talent that Chad Michaels, who heads the Dreamgirls, invited me to be a part of that elite drag troupe. So I've been a part of that drag troupe for about 15 years.
Amazing.
And so that is glory to me, as far as like, if I'm not on a TV show, I'm so proud that I'm one of the Dreamgirls Review cast members. And a number of RuPaul Drag Race celebrities are with the Dreamgirls Review, like Morgan McMichael, Mayhem Miller, Chad Michaels, as I mentioned, Raja, and not to mention our drag king. We have one drag king who is a member of the Dreamgirls Review, who is Landon Sider. And she's the winner of Dragula. Yeah. So I'm performing with the best.
Yes,
with these elite people.
Well, and it doesn't matter if you win or lose. It just matters that you keep going.
Yes.
You know, like for anything, even if you get on Drag Race, because a lot of people get on Drag Race, they lose, they get sent home first, or they get sent home second, or whatever, and they stop doing it because they lost and the dream has been crushed. Right. You know, I did Groundlings for 7 years, and
What's Groundlings for the people who don't know?
Well, I've talked about it a couple of times.
Okay, good.
But Groundlings is a comedy school here in Los Angeles that does improv, and you know, it's a very
genius right here. So funny.
Thank you.
So talented.
It's a very strenuous program, and you know, when I inevitably got cut, which most people have that experience of getting cut. That's most people's experience. You know, a friend of mine said, who moved on to the next level, they said, Alex, you're still a comedian. You're still funny. You're still a talented performer. And it really, you know, I then ended up having to go out and build my own stage, like you did as well. You know,
and like you're doing right now.
And like I'm doing right now. Yep. Exactly. Where it's like, you do just kind of have to get back up and, you know, take it's because it's not about losing. And my friend ended up getting cut later on, so even though he moved on to the next level. So it really is kind of, it's this city. It's the whole tournament, the whole competition is a facade. Yes. It's a built-in structure to make the audience enticed, but it's not real.
Right. Yeah. And even award shows like the Academy Awards.
Yes, exactly.
Were created not to really necessarily name a better actor, one or the other. Right. It was really a
promotional
material.
It was a
promotional show. Yes. Promotional and clout.
Absolutely.
It wasn't about better.
No.
So that's what I think. Honestly, that's what I think about school too. Here's the thing that I get grades. I understand the grading system, and if you're good or not good in a subject like math or English. Yeah. But to make the way I felt is when I got a D in English, that I was less than the other students who got a C, B, and A. Yeah. I was not as good as. I was never rewarded necessarily for the strength that I had in it,
or the work,
but rather just pointed out that I was the weakest. And we all have that experience. Like, I shouldn't be graded. Like, if I'm naturally not good at math, I should not be expected to get a better grade. And when I don't, be put down or feel like I'm less than. I don't think students have the opportunity to feel pride in themselves with the effort that they're doing. In school, they define their success by the grade.
Yeah. Well, I will say one thing, though, is because I read Malcolm Gladwell's David and Goliath, and actually experiencing failure like that at a young age is better for you in the long run. Because it's the kids who get A's who never experience failure, then go out into the real world. Right. And when they experience it, they give it up. Yeah. But for the kids who get B's and C's and D's, they go out and they're like, oh, failure? I've already done that. Yeah. I'm not afraid of it. Yeah. Like, I know I can get a B or C in this math course and be totally okay. Yeah. Glenn, so I love you. I love you. I could talk to you for days. I could talk to you for days.
Months.
Years. But we do have to talk about our It Girls of the week.
Yes, we do. It
Girls of the week. And before we do, please make sure to like and subscribe to this podcast, either on YouTube, on Spotify. You'll save a drag queen's life. That drag queen being me. So now we're going to get to our It Girls of the week. This is somebody who has been trending in the news worldwide or in the country that everybody is talking about. So on the count of 3, you and I are going to guess. Do you have your guess ready?
I'm trying to guess. I'm trying to guess right now.
You're trying to guess now?
I'm thinking hard. It's hurting my brain.
The wig's too tight. The wig's too tight. Do you have your answer in your brain now?
I have my answer.
Okay. So ready?
Yeah.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Cynthia
Erivo.
Yes. Okay. Of course, Cynthia. Amazing. Jesus Christ.
And of course,
superstar.
Sydney. I fucking love Sydney.
Yeah, but are you aware of the controversy though?
It sounds like you might not be. I missed it.
Let's talk about yours first.
Oh,
okay. Because Cynthia was amazing in Jesus Christ
Superstar.
Yeah.
So for who's listening, I am a makeup artist for film and television and theater, and I was invited to work on Jesus Christ Superstar at the Hollywood Bowl, where Cynthia Erivo was playing the role of Jesus, and Adam Lambert as Judas.
Oh, okay, great.
Amazing duo. Anyway, so Cynthia, aside from being Elphaba and Wicked, is such a strong representation of our community because if you don't know, she's black, she's lesbian, she's a woman, and she is a powerhouse. Absolutely. She is so talented and so strong as a person, but also so kind. She's one of the kindest.
That's really great to hear.
And for our community to be represented on that stage as that character, as Jesus Christ, and knowing the sacrifices that we've made, it was so powerful. So powerful.
Yeah.
So if you hear emotions, it's because I'm an artist.
Yeah,
and
why?
I have the reason my art is great is because I can tap into my emotions because I feel things.
Yeah.
As Bette Midler said in Beaches.
Yes.
I'm a deeply feeling person. I feel things deeply. Anyway, so that was incredible to see her, to hear her, to feel her.
Yeah.
That's why it was such a powerful moment.
Yeah. And it's emotional for you,
for me.
Well, just for
and
you.
For all, we were all crying, not just for me. Everybody who saw that.
But right
was
now
like,
you're crying
oh my God.
because as a queer artist,
there's not an actual tear coming out of my eye. So,
it's okay.
But if that would be better for
for our Emmy
ratings,
to get our Emmy. no. But
So yes, being emotional.
Yeah.
I love when things make me emotional. It makes me feel like
you're alive.
Yeah, I'm alive.
Yeah,
and I care.
Absolutely. And I had so much FOMO seeing it at the Hollywood Bowl. I was like, it's one of those things where you hear it's happening, but you don't really buy tickets. And I was telling you, I rarely see a musical twice because I'm like, oh, I already know the plot. I already know the story, everything like that. But my God, the vocals that were coming out of those two. And the other thing was the imagery. I mean, like, I normally don't associate the Hollywood Bowl with like iconic. It's an iconic stage, first of all. But in terms of like the staging and everything like that, and the way that not theater, exactly.
Not theater. Concerts.
Like, yes, concerts. Right. Normally it's concerts. Right. Normally it's like, a band or something like that. But this was like, the staging of it was just so well done. Like seeing Adam Lambert come like through the fog and like Cynthia's down below. It was just, It was magical. Even just to experience it through social media, I was like, I had so much FOMO. And you worked on it.
Yes.
How incredible.
And
what a relief to hear that Cynthia is nice and kind.
Yes.
Yeah.
Super. The best.
Yeah.
The best. So is Adam. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so I did say Sydney Sweeney. I
love Sydney Sweeney.
I don't know if you're aware
honey,
of
give
the
us
controversy,
the dish.
but
give us the dish. We need to eat, honey. We're hungry.
I'm actually dressed as Sydney Sweeney. She had a jean ad that came out this week.
Got you.
She had a jeans ad.
Clever bitch.
She had a jeans ad coming out that came out this week, and she is it's sort of like a little bit of a dog whistle for eugenics, white eugenics, where she's talking about how genetics are passed down from parents to offspring, and my genes are blue. And so it has like liberals in an outrage because it seems to be promoting like, you know, being white, blonde, and beautiful is the sort of supreme. And so conservatives are also angry because, or they're sort of pointing to that and saying, liberals are sensitive about everything. You know, like they can't even be okay with like a white pretty blonde person. So I think this is just a new way of like for marketing. Like I think that marketing companies have figured out that the way to get, because the end goal of capitalism is just to get everybody talking about it. They don't actually have a value system. They just want to be top of tongue for everybody. So American Eagle jeans is now something that everybody is talking about. And they have played into this like sensitivity, I think, on purpose. And Sydney, unfortunately, is sort of caught in the middle of it and is receiving a lot of backlash and everything. So that's sort of what's going on my side of the internet. But it's been tough for her. And she did post a video crying about it, and just the level of backlash. And I
saw that post. I didn't know,
but you didn't know what it was about.
No, she said words hurt.
Yes. But also, which then Alexandra Billings. Do you know Alexandra?
Yeah,
Billings?
she reposted it.
Yeah, she reposted it. She also responded to it saying, "Yeah, words hurt.
Yeah, words
matter. That's why promoting white eugenics is problematic." You know. Well, I do think that when you're a famous person, you see the worst sides of the internet. You know, I talked in a previous episode about how Adam Rippon, a figure skater, he got sent like photos of people's diarrhea and stuff. And so he was like, I'm out. I don't want to be famous anymore. I'm tapping out. Like, this is like too much for me. So yeah. Anyways, that's just my rant on that. So I think that Sydney is seeing the worst of it. I do think she's going to be fine. I think she's white. She's going to be fine, unfortunately. I mean, like, white people are just going to be able to survive stuff like that. And, like, with our country being as racist as it is, like, she's going to continue to make money.
Well, I also think she's going to be fine because she's talented.
Yeah.
I think she's a good person and she's talented. And I think making a jeans commercial, when you start that idea, was like, yeah, that's so simple. That's fine. Let's do a jeans commercial. Sounds like fun. Yeah. So it wasn't her fault. Like, she didn't do that on purpose. I think we need to, you know, maybe make a point of when people hurt other people on purpose. Don't shoot the messenger, not Sweeney.
Yeah, I think it's complicated. You know, you have to also just sort of, we're not always aware of what the outcome of the things we create is going to be. I mean, there have been several people who have made mistakes and have had to like have some level of accountability. We talked a couple of episodes ago about Laverne Cox announcing that she had dated a MAGA cop for 3 years during 2020 and everything like that. She actually just hosted like an accountability panel and everything like that. And so I do think that there is a way of navigating like side steps like this. I don't know. I typically find, and you know, Patty LuPone also made some mistakes earlier this year as well in regards to some comments towards Audra McDonald, and so she had to come forward with an apology and that sort of thing. I do think apology and accountability is something that we can get to without complete cancellation.
Right.
But unfortunately, I don't know if we always get that from celebrities. I hope that Sydney can get to that, but it was also revealed that she's registered as a Republican as well. Yeah, I know.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So I actually did a Sydney.
Okay.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to unload all of this on you.
I think there are levels of Republican.
Yeah.
Let's be clear, because there are many people who are Republican who want the best for everyone, who aren't MAGA, who don't believe in Project 2025 and that particular agenda. Mm-hmm. I think there are some good people who are Republican, who want the best for Democrats. I think it's the person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's just hard to tell that.
It is hard to tell it, and I just have to say that for the people that are full of love, that are Republican.
Yeah. I think it's tough in 2024.
Right now?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's been so much separation and hate. Mm-hmm. I think we need to do what we can to stop further division and bring us together and have a conversation with the people who are willing, from the left and the right, to come together and have a conversation. There are people who are willing. And so I think that's going to be the next kind of movement is let's have a conversation now. We've been fighting long enough. We've been separated long enough. Now let's come together for a common good. And I think that's what's happening now with all of the backlash that this administration is getting for crossing way too many lines. This should have happened a long time ago. I'm saying the conversation, but it is happening.
I hope so. I don't know that I agree. Just to be honest, I don't know that I'm seeing that come to Jesus from Republicans personally.
I think it's an individual basis. I think the family members are coming back together saying, I'm sorry.
I'm not experiencing that.
I didn't know.
I'm not experiencing that.
There's a bit of both.
Yeah. I mean, I hope it's out there.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it, but I hope it's out there. And yeah, I mean, I personally think that we just have to, the people who speak the truth are the ones who shape it. Yep. Like the people who are saying the things out loud are
Jasmine
the people
Crockett.
Jasmine Crockett. Yeah. And that's also why, like, I feel like, you know, with doing this podcast and other things, I think that, like, if we just allow people on the right to be the ones with the microphones, they sort of define what the reality is.
Right.
I would love if that was the case. I mean, like, if you are, you know, for you to speak that into existence, to speak, you know, some sort of coming together.
I know families too, and people have shared that their families have come to them and said, I am sorry.
I would love that. In-laws, I would love for you to call me.
They have done that. It is going on right now.
That's great.
I am sorry. What can we do now to move forward?
Yeah.
And to make this shift. Is it too late for some things? Absolutely, it's too late. The damage is done. But they're back together. And together is what's going to, in the future, create healing.
From your lips to God's ears.
It's true.
Well, I
it's
hope
happening.
so.
It's happening.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
I feel like I would love for that to happen.
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen a lot of, like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have an example?
What I just said, people have communicated with me about their families.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Apologizing.
Okay, good.
Profusely.
Okay, good. Okay.
I was wrong. I
Sorry,
didn't know I was going to be this wrong.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, good.
But good. The
good.
tide is turning. And like I said, for some things it's too late, but coming back together is going to be the answer for the future to make the changes that we need to make to correct the things we fucking broke.
Yeah.
We'll fix it.
And we have to offer that pathway.
Yeah.
We have to model what that pathway is.
Yeah.
I think that, like, with the Laverne thing, with everything else, like, I think that there is a way of having these conversations and welcoming each other back into each other's arms while also acknowledging past mistakes and saying, like, you know, but what does that conversation look like? And that's such a tricky conversation. And also, I think that with social media and a lot of us losing our ability to communicate face to face. You know, like I even feel like, oh my gosh, I'm so nervous during this conversation. You know, like there's like anxiety coming up for me, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, well,
But
yeah,
I'm glad I can
don't-
share my positive experience with you.
Yeah.
Because
for
I think
sure.
we need to share those.
Yeah. No, to
Yep.
show that that's happening as well.
Yep.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, now let's get to our niche girls of the week.
Niche girl.
So this is something. These are the girls that are being served to us directly from our algorithm, like specifically
to me, honey, to me.
To
yes,
yes,
to
that
people
that
like
our
me.
algorithm. So I might not know who yours are. You might not know mine, and we're gonna tell each other what the tea is. Okay.
Gotta tell you the tea.
Okay. So do you have any top of mind?
I got mine.
Okay. So let me hear it. Let me hear it.
1, 2, 3.
No. Because ours are gonna be different. So you share yours.
Susanne Bartsch.
Susanne Bartsch
is my niche girl.
Tell me about her.
Oh yeah, Susanne Bartsch.
Okay.
Is the club promoter, producer in New York.
Okay.
Who has produced clubs and events since the 80s, specifically catered to the LGBTQ community, the club kids, the drag queens, and the artists. And she's been doing that, and she continues to do that with a club called On Top in New York. But when she got to New York, she really focused on fashion in the 80s, on fashion. So that's her focus. She is iconic as far as understanding and translating what fashion is. And the art community and the club community is just kind of a amalgamation of what that is, fashion and art.
Okay.
And she is the queen of that.
Okay. So is she like a designer, or like what specifically is she?
She's a Pied Piper.
She's a Pied Piper, kind of like you. She's like a jack of all trades kind of girl.
Jack of all trades. But
Okay. And so
she's iconic.
Iconic. Well, I always find out.
And I enunciate that for a reason. Susanne Bartsch.
Susanne Bartsch. What's her? Do you know her Instagram?
Susanne Bartsch. Susanne Bartsch.
Okay, great.
There's a documentary called On Top. Here's the thing. Susanne Bartsch also kind of helped RuPaul rise at the very beginning. She had clubs, and she brought him as one of the drag go-go dancers.
Okay.
And then she also made him a host of one of the nightclubs at the beginning of his time in New York.
Oh, wow.
So, yes. She's instrumental.
She was instrumental in setting him up for success. Wow, that's amazing. I didn't realize he was hosting like a. I mean, I knew he was a club kid for sure.
I was at Club USA. I think it was Club USA in New York.
Okay.
In the 80s, I was a youngster, and I remember him on the podium dancing, go-go dancing.
Yeah.
Being fabulous. He had the center.
Yeah.
He was the host and the go-go dancer.
Did you know then?
He was in his glory, in his own element. I had no idea. I just like, to me, who's that gorgeous tall bitch?
Right.
Like, I got to know her. That's what I saw. That's what I felt.
Yeah.
And now we all know her.
You
know, and that's why I feel confident about this world, because this world has accepted drag, has accepted the LGBTQ community as a force, because RuPaul's face is more famous than most leaders of countries in this world.
Great point. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Wow.
So
that's a great point. I've never thought about it like that. Well, my niche girl of the week, I was gonna maybe make it my it girl of the week, but I feel like, Las Culturistas, do you know what that is?
Nope.
Okay. So
Teach
us. Las Culturistas is a podcast with Matt Rogers and Bowen Yang from SNL. He's the gay Asian guy.
Yep.
Okay. He played the iceberg.
Yep. We love him.
Anyway, so he has a podcast with Matt Rogers.
Yes, he does. They're hilarious.
Yes. And
look him up.
Basically, they had this podcast for a long time. I based a lot of the games that we play on this podcast on that one, just because it works so well. And I love the way that they talk about culture and they talk about the zeitgeist. And I'm a huge fan of them. They just hosted their first Las Culturistas award show on Bravo, and where it's just they did basically they made up all the awards. Like all of the awards were made up, like best news announcement, best most iconic contribution to film being Jeff Goldblum's chest in Jurassic Park. Like just like random little awards like for just all kinds of like really, really niche things. And like it just was such a fun award show. Like when you're watching it, because it's on Peacock and everything. I haven't even watched it. I've only seen, again, the clips through social media. But that's what's so great about how they've seemingly structured the show is that they made it like bite size so that you can consume it in like little pieces through social media, which I think is just like so smart and just shows such a media savvy of like, you know, how they understand like the current internet meme climate. Right. Yeah. So I
like that.
I know.
Check it out.
And so I want to watch the whole thing. I haven't watched the whole thing yet, but I'm going to. And then my other niche girl I was gonna say is, do you know who Brandi Glanville is?
No.
She's a Real Housewife of Beverly Hills.
That's why.
And and she tried to put Nair on her face to get rid of a parasite, and it reacted really badly, and it like burned her skin very, very severely. And it's like I hope that she gets better, but it's like
stupid bitch.
It's like crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking.
What? That's
stupid bitch.
Stupid bitch. I know. Well, it's a very iconic video, I have to say, because she's got this like pink bow right here, and her mom is
of course
there
she does,
being like her mom is not a camera personality at all, and so the mom is just kind of like, oh God, Brandi, what are we doing? Like, why are we filming this for the internet? And like, and Brandi's in full presentation mode, being like, so I burned my face off, and it's like it's
why I don't watch that show. Any of those.
Or any of those.
No, none.
No. But you did work with Phaedra Parks for Dancing with the Stars.
I did.
And she
Phaedra
was
Parks is from Housewives of Atlanta. Even though I don't watch the show.
No.
I met her and worked with her, and she is a gem.
Yeah.
And she's smart. She's a smart woman.
Oh, she's so smart.
And she's a great mom. I mean, most importantly, she's a great mom to her two sons.
I love that.
And she's smart, and she's a lawyer. She also is an undertaker, works at a
I know. So wild. She's a jack of all trades as well.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
I think we related because we love multiple things. We don't want to limit ourselves.
Yeah.
And I love that about her.
So what is your like media consumption, would you say? Are you like on Instagram? Do you like watch a certain channel or like stream like our YouTube?
I'm definitely watching Sandman.
Sandman. Okay. Yeah. What's that on?
Sandman is on Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a fantastical story about gods and spirits and elements and, you know, if they were in human form.
Yeah.
Interacting with each other. How would those interactions be?
Cool. Is anyone I know in it? Or
I'm sure there's famous people.
It's okay. It's okay.
I don't watch enough to see that they're on multiple things.
Yeah.
But no, Sandman. So anyways, I like fantasy. I like escapism because I want to feed my own artist.
Yeah.
And I want to celebrate art.
Absolutely.
And creativity like that. So I do love those fantasy.
For sure.
Series.
For sure. Now we're going to get to our It Girl Who Got Away.
Great.
So this is somebody who the culture slept on, who did not fully get their flowers, or, you know.
Absolutely.
So we're going to rant. We're going to rant for 1 minute about why this person deserves their flowers, why they should have had their moment, why they should come back, all kinds of reasons. Nick, do we have a timer? Oh, you're going to time it? Oh, okay, great. Okay, so now I'm going to say my It Girl Who Got Away. Okay, so ready, Nick?
Yep. 3, 2, 1.
My It Girl who is getting away is Precinct, downtown Los Angeles. We need to help our girl out. They are struggling down there after a series of setbacks with ice and shutdowns in the downtown area. It is one of the coolest bars that we have here in Los Angeles. They have all kinds of drag shows that are so important for the culture. She's in Parties, Fat Slut, Henny Games, so many others to say and to count on. It's one that has a full roster. Any day of the week, you can look at their website and they'll have something weird and with such a strong point of view, which you all know that I love. It's so important as like, I always say it's like the hub of counterculture, where you go for like those sharp critiques of culture, or that, it just doesn't want to have anything to do with culture, but it's a culture all on its own. Please go and support them at the weekend today. Yeah. Do you go to Precinct?
Yes, I love Precinct, of course. The owners, Brian and Thor, were dear friends of mine before the Precinct. So I kind of went through the journey, the long 2 years of just planning that club, building that club, the permits, the pain, the disappointment, the struggle of creating that A club, period.
Yeah.
It's so hard. So I have so much pride for them in that they succeeded. Thor is no longer with us. But it is an example of triumph, that club is. And it is a home to art and the subversive artists.
Yes.
Which we need to keep alive, especially I feel that way with the subversive culture that I came from, which includes the club kids, which includes Grace Jones and Lee Bowery. And I've been to all the events that they have, especially She's in Parties is such a great event. And we do need to keep that alive because in San Francisco, they lost Oasis. And that's where Heklina had her show. And that's where those artists who were subversive and rebellious and punk and glamorous and messy and loud and political and gave such strong messages. We don't have Oasis anymore. That closed again due to the just what is going on in the world these days.
Absolutely.
It's really hard to stay in business.
Absolutely. I know. I mean, even in West Hollywood too, like there are so many clubs who have shuttered their doors and it's hard.
Yeah, but Precinct, is meaningful to me because I also performed a lot with the Boulet brothers there.
Yes.
With Queen Kong.
Yes.
And they kind of opened the door and the eyes for the subversive artists and performance artists. Yeah. And they are the ones who created Dragula. The club and the TV show.
Yeah. So everybody get out there. Make sure you're going to Precinct this weekend. They literally have something on the calendar every single night. Yeah. It's such a fun and a formative club. I mean, I can't believe I was like counting the years that I've been going and I was like, oh my God. Like, wow.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Okay, so now we're going to get to your It Girl who got away. Nick is going to do the honors of timing again.
Lovely.
All right, so Nick.
All right, 60 seconds on the clock. 3, 2, 1.
So my It situation girl, they is the show Legendary.
Yes.
That was on HBO Max. That got away from us.
Thank you.
There was only 3 seasons. But what's so special about HBO Max is that it was the LGBTQ community, the disenfranchised minority young people who grew up and had so much talent in the ballroom scene. And the HBO Max created a show, a voguing competition featuring artists and houses and dancers from around the world. And we created such a spectacle of makeup and hair and costumes. And it was elaborate and lively and full of freedom, joy, and love. Watch it.
Absolutely. And different. And just something different. Like, I mean, we hadn't really like seen, I mean, obviously I think Pose came out before that.
Yeah.
So it kind of like laid the groundwork for like what it was, So I think maybe people were going into it with an understanding from that show, but damn.
They got so much more.
Yeah. They got so much more what?
Of everything.
Yeah.
Of everything on Legendary. Honey, we threw down every department, the dancers. Their souls were shining, every single one of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Were living their best fucking life. They were examples to everyone on how to claim yourself, your truth, and how to live it to your fullest and not let the outside sources try to mold you and keep you down and shut you down and make you quiet.
Yeah.
No, Legendary is about freedom.
Absolutely. And it felt like the relationship that the contestants had with the judges and the way that the judges would disagree and banter and go back and forth.
It's a reality show.
But it felt like real, like people were sharing their like real opinions, or was that not the case?
Well, it was, as far as the judges. Well, it's a reality show, period. Okay. So there's always going to be a formula. But yeah, so this time though, as far as the ballroom scene, as far as truth and living our truth and being truthful, when the judges critiqued one of the other dance teams with a critique the week before, a different team got the same critique but was docked on the points. The prior week they didn't get docked. The critique was just there. But this team got docked points for the same critique, and they called it out, and they said, "Excuse me, excuse me. Last week you said that to them, and you gave them a 9, and this week you're saying it to us, and you're giving us a 6. So what's the true story?
Right?
Like why are you not playing fair?"
Yeah.
And that part when honesty, courage.
Yeah.
To claim your truth, stand up for yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Period.
Well, and I mean, I feel like that's kind of what was missing from this last season of All Stars, was like there were some challenges and some things where you go, wait a minute, that person didn't win this challenge. But there was it felt sanitized. It felt like it had
nobody was there to call it out.
Nobody called it out, or if they did call it out, it was cut from the edit.
It was cut.
So there was something about this past season that didn't have the same level of authenticity that I think that something like Legendary did have.
Yeah. And that we need more of.
And that we feel as an audience. Like when we're watching, we go.
Yeah. To be honest, and to be controversial and to be speculative, to me, the executives saw what they were creating and saw the voices that were being heard and projected and the truth and the message that was getting out there. And I think the executives, rich white men, were like, oh, maybe that was enough. Maybe 3 seasons is enough. Let's shut that down.
3 seasons of what?
Legendary.
Oh, of Legendary. Okay, back to Legendary. Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. Because it really was. I mean, I was captivated by that show.
Yeah.
I was so captivated by that show.
It's needed. So
absolutely.
I hope.
So Legendary, please, let's bring it back.
Yeah.
Let's bring it back. It really
Some
was.
network. HBO Max is not it.
No.
But somebody else
is
can
it Max?
pick
is
it
it
back
HBO?
up.
What is it now? Who knows? Who knows what it even is anymore? Well, Glenn, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Did you have a good time?
I had a great time.
Yay!
I adore you.
Good. I adore
You're
you.
such a great spirit, a great person.
You.
And I appreciate your artistry.
Oh, thank
yeah.
you.
And
you too.
Standing
My God.
up and sharing your light. So I appreciate you.
Of course.
Yeah.
And now where can we find you? I know you're performing all over. You're going to be
Instagram.
Instagram easiest.
Glen Alen.
At Glen Alen.
Yeah.
Okay.
If anybody wants to take a class learning how to do their makeup, they can just private message me, or through my website, they can look up dragmakeupacademy.com.
Yeah. Amazing. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel and to the podcast. We have 2 more episodes left of season 1. So make sure you are tuned in. We come out every single Monday. Let us know in the comments, who do we need to talk more about? Because as we all know, conversation is currency, honey. And if they're not talking about you, baby, you're not getting paid. So, I like that. I'm trying new things out at the end every time here. So I'm so stupid. Anyways, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.